Kohate says. Well, if it isn't my favorite non-me streamer, smiley face. Stream Elements says. Dice Baggery is now live streaming art, draw and chat Pokemon inspired TTRPG. Solo the Nerd says. Everyone, it's time to roll initiative. The stream has begun.
Hello, everybody. How's it going? I see we already got Kohet and Solo in the chat here. Welcome, guys. Welcome. I think maybe I should turn my music down just a bit more. Or maybe it's just my headphones that are too loud. I don't know. I never know anymore. I did my freaking karaoke stream, and ever since that, everything's been kind of on the fritz audio-wise. But oh well. It's not like audio is a major component of doing art or anything. Just a major component of streaming. But yeah, welcome guys. You remember this? Did I show this to you guys? I'm pretty sure I'd sketched this out on stream. But we're going to be doing this one today. This is going to be our main thing. The next Creature Codex video I want to do is with this family.
Headphones. Music volume is fine.
Okie dokie. And I'll bump it up by one more point like I had it before I reduce the music. Let's see. Oh no, wait. Adjusting my headphones adjusts the volume of the actual PC. I got freaking Bluetooth headphones.
Solo the Nerd says, my big BOI is finally getting some love.
Let's see. I'll knock it down just a tad and then increase it a little bit on OBS. Yeah. Yeah, we got Siger here stalking the treetops. So is this going to be your starting creature solo? The Psykit family? We're going to go ahead and put these guys, all this sketch, in its own folder so I can draw on top of it. Of course, I should probably pop into the stream room over in the Artistic Savants Discord too. For any of the boys who want to pop in and chat. Yeah, the next Creature Codex video I want to do is these guys. And I need more artwork for them because I haven't drawn very much of them. So we're focusing on that right now. I should currently have enough to do
Solo the Nerd
my
says,
beginning the
that's
war
right.
video.
Love my cats, even though I might still be allergic to them.
Oh, you and me too. Or both. You and me both. I also am allergic to cats. I have to settle for playing with my parents' cats every once in a while. Which isn't a great thing because their cats, every cat they've always had is always like really antisocial. I don't know why. I suspect it's my mom's fault. And I can say that because I know she's not watching. So what's been going on with y'all? I was supposed to work yesterday, but it was snowing real hard, and I got in my car and tried to drive to work, and my windshield wipers wouldn't work.
I feel like most pets do end up being reflections of their masters.
Right? It's like they say, your cat can have the same mental illnesses as its owner. At least it's not as bad as the cats
Solo the Nerd
we had
says,
as a kid.
my ideal cat would be fine with me both approaching it and wanting personal time on occasion.
I did have a cat when I was much younger. And Mom always
Coheed
wanted to
says,
keep it on a leash.
I saw a meme that was one half of the USA on fire and the other covered in ice. I miss not being stateside this time of year.
You wanted to take part in that? Don't worry, I'm sure you'll have your Hawaii fires soon enough.
Coheed says, yeah, I've got lootin' to do.
Speaking of looting, since I called into work yesterday, I played a lot of Path of Exile. I don't know what else to say about that, but I did a lot of looting, is what I'm getting at. Oh, excuse me. I played a lot of Path of Exile 2.
Solo the Nerd says, give me 2 cold over 2 hot anytime.
Right?
Coheed says, are you better or worse than Rocket Daddy?
Rocket Daddy? I don't know Rocket Daddy. Who's Rocket Daddy? Is that one of the people in our friends groups? I'm not familiar with this name. Or is this some streamer I should know but I don't because I
Coheed
don't
says,
watch anyone besides VTubers?
Elon Musk.
Oh, Elon Musk. Bro, let's be honest here. Elon Musk hires people to grind for him. 100%. These are the kinds of games that you have to invest a lot of time into grinding. And you're telling me that freaking the guy who has a bunch of large billion-dollar corporations under him that he's like managing, and he also posts on social media like 24/7.
Lied about it?
He also posts on media 24/7 on Twitter. He's constantly doing this. Like, when does he have time? He doesn't have time. He outsources a bunch of the shit he does. Absolutely.
Solo the Nerd says, Rocket Daddy sounds like a terrible Twitch profile name.
That's what I assumed at first. And if he called him Space Daddy, I probably would have gotten that a little sooner. But yeah, Elon Musk, he might have gotten like good results running Diablo in-game content, but no way he actually spent all the time he'd need to grind out all the gear and whatnot by himself. He absolutely paid to win to that shit. Which I don't even begrudge him. Grinding freaking sucks. Okay? I would not want to do all that either. It's not really fun.
Daddy is like a combo of GoDaddy and Rocket Money LOL. I really like that guy, but I never want to hear him say or do anything.
I'm not even sure what you mean. Like, I understand the words that you just typed. But I can't grok the meaning of them. Excuse me. I got me some freaking sugar-free root beer to sip on today.
Kohate says, oh, I like Elon Musk. I'm a big space enjoyer, but every time he exists in a public space I want to tell him to go away.
I recently unfollowed the guy. He just posts way too damn much. But again, it's probably not him doing most of his posting.
Solo the Nerd says, saw that you changed your YouTube profile name. Any particular reason?
Oh yeah.
Kohate says, only recently?
Yeah. I changed my branding on like most of my platforms. Because I was like, you know what? I called myself Diceback Games in most places to be like, hey, yeah, I do games, by the way. But I feel like the logo and the name were too impersonal. Therefore, I have switched to signaling that I'm a VTuber more strongly. Not mean. That's how my Twitter account is now.
Time to get parasocial boas.
What do you need to get parasocial for? You're like literally in my voice chats, Kohet. Speaking of, though, I have been kind of getting parasocial really bad. One of my favorite VTubers, not Fauna, the second favorite, Mint. She was on a holiday break for a while, and she had a stream of freaking...
Kohate says, sometimes it's nice to be in one-sided relationships. Solo the Nerd says, at least now you can say that Creatures is produced by Dicebag Games.
But anyways, Mint, while she was gone, she had a 24/7 stream going of some of her karaoke replays. And that chick's voice does something to me. I listen to her sing for a little bit and then like go take a nap, my afternoon nap like I usually do because I'm a night shifter. And then I start dreaming about her and I'm like, oh no, this is bad.
Kohate says, who is this? I'm gonna look her up and then be incredibly judgmental.
You can't judge me for Mint. Here, I'll try to link you here. I'll throw it to you in the Discord. Wait. YouTube. Where is Made Mint Phantom? There we go. Crazy singer, that Mint. And Fauna likes her too. There we go. We got the head done. Finally. Kinda.
Solo the Nerd says. Sorry, wasn't paying attention. Was giving scritches to my brother's puppy.
You didn't miss much. I was just talking about one of my favorite VTubers. Pause. Draw the circle, damn it. One of the things I've been trying to work out recently, and I made a post about this on Twitter, is the idea of like using my dungeon generation.
Are there any special character flaws about Psychic I should know about?
Yeah, they like to teleport things off of ledges. As cats are wont to do, except they don't normally have teleportation. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I've been wanting to use my dungeon generation rules and like find a way to apply them for in like wilderness encounters and stuff, so you can make outdoor maps on the fly. Because I wanted to do the same kind of procedural generation for stuff like creature hunts and stuff like that. And I think I figured out a way to actually do it. I'm kind of abstracting things a little bit. Because the whole issue with doing something like that is like outdoor settings are like really wide open, so the whole concept of like having rooms and stuff like you would in a dungeon is kind of hard to translate. But I've decided that what we can do is, instead of having like walls and shit, we can use something I'm calling the rough, which is just like rough terrain that's hard to walk through or just get through in general. And we're going to use that to basically generate the walls of a quote-unquote outdoor dungeon. So you can walk through it, but it kind of creates a soft barrier that you can use to create.
Solo the Nerd says.
The
would you
rooms
technically be
and
making
stuff.
one giant room full of plants, rock, etc.?
Kind of. Let me see.
Kohate says. Uneasy face, you certainly are a person with tastes. Dice. Kohate says. Talking about his favorite VTubers and it wasn't me. Can you believe this shiz?
Go ahead, why are you saying that about Mint? She's not very unnormal. No, if you were my favorite VTuber, that'd be a lot more sus. Anyways, what was I thinking? Oh yeah, I was gonna bring up a grid or something, so I could draw out an example. Let's see if I have a hex grid handy. Spoiler alert, I probably don't have one very handy. Let's see, here's my maps folder. Maps. Caves, forest, forest. Nothing is named grid. So that's nice. Alright, here, let's use this. Alright, so here's like our raw map. So you're gonna like generate, say, a wilderness encounter or a wilderness dungeon or something. So you're gonna like roll for the size of the first quote-unquote room. And let's say like it's a size 3. So a size 3 is like a central space, and then what is it like? I'm gonna have to pull up my random tables. Excuse me. Dale's all acting confused about my posting of Mint.
Solo the Nerd says.
Yeah, so 3.
Joined Twitch a few days ago to watch a live stream of one of my favorite YouTube reaction channels.
Okay, so you'd have a size. You'd start out with a clearing like this. So everything outside of here is like dense foliage and small trees and stuff like that. This here is a clearing. And since it's a size 3, that means it's basically divided into 3 sections. So you've got like the first, the middle, and then the other side. And then each section is generated with a couple of dice rolls. So you'll roll 2 dice, and you might have like a big tree in here, and then say a ledge for this section. And then we have a slope downward on the sides, and then you go up to the next session, roll 2 more die, and consult the tables. And you might have like an insect hive here, and then a fallen tree, like over here, and that can provide cover and let you duck behind it. And then the insect hive will like nibble on you if you get too close to it or something like that. And so you just generate all the little features in this thing on the fly. And then when you want to move on, you're gonna generate like the exits and stuff. So you might have an exit over here, right? So, and then this is the next one, and it might be a smaller room. It might only be like a size 2. So it's like so, right? And of course, these are the clearings and stuff, and outside of here is just all a representation of the difficult terrain. And you can walk through it and stuff, but it's gonna cost you like extra movement, and it's gonna block sight and make things difficult to see. So you're kind of expected to stick around in the clearings, but you know, you're not bound by them. But either way, it's a useful way to like section things off and represent them, and just keep the generation to a much less burdensome level. Because if you're just generating every single detail out here,
Solo the Nerd says,
that gets really tiresome
I
and
think you
cumbersome
just
a
drew
lot.
Wheezing by accident.
I did in fact draw Wheezing. You know what? I always thought Wheezing should have an extra evolution named like I forget what his name was, but it needs like a third one. Yeah, that's Wheezing.
Solo the Nerd says, Magnemite is the one you're thinking of.
I'm not thinking of Magnemite. I'm just saying it should be more like Magnemite. He needs a third evolution. What the hell is Dale talking about? Alright, anyways, that's enough of that. Back to drawing the kitty cat.
Solo the Nerd says, the hard part would be coming up with a name. How do you move beyond the theme of coughing and wheezing?
Hacking. There you go. Coughing, wheezing, and hacking. Or smoking. That's a good one too. You can even like give him a little crown so to emphasize the king part. See, you can't deny, if there's one thing I'm good at with this Pokemon shit, it's coming up with names. It's kind of ironic because I suck at naming anything else.
Daladakarai says,
Oh, there he is.
coughing, wheezing, and gagging.
Not gagging. Not gagging, Dale. Coming into my chats just to say that. You could have said that in Discord. Gagging.
Daladakarai says, sounds like a busy Friday night on the town.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about kid-friendly Pokemon, Dale. Not a night on the town.
Daladakarai says, you tell me to not talk in Discord.
Look, Dale, you're not allowed to use my own words against me. You're not the government. Also, in Discord you were talking about VTubers. You come in here and you start making innuendos.
But, in Discord, You don't have a character limit like in YouTube chat. Daladakarai Pop says, do I need to remind the court of the Pokemon Company's stance on Pokemoniality?
No, we don't. I am well aware of the leaks and other various forms of lore that have made it into the game. But this is a nice Christian stream.
Solo the Nerd says, stance on what? That went over my head.
You might be better off not knowing. Suffice it to say...
Daladakarai Pop says,
oh, is Dale gonna spell
LOL.
memes?
LMAO.
Suffice it to say, there are
Solo the
some
Nerd
canon...
says, I'm not religious or care enough, so Christianity don't mean squat to me.
There are some, what was I saying? There are some canon implications that Pokemon and humans have and perhaps still do have relations. There is also a big leak of Pokemon information a while back that had a lot of sussy lore tidbits that didn't make it into the games of that variety.
Stream Elements says, good evening, mortal humans, make sure you subscribe to Dicebag and say hello.
Thank you, Geronimo.
Daladakarai Pop says, so this is why Nintendo is suing Pal World. Because they stole their idea of Monster X human sauciness.
Palworld's got no subtlety, does it? Man.
Solo the Nerd says, maybe they did millennia in the past. That's how the first humanoid Pokemon could have came to be.
I'm pretty sure in one of the games there's an NPC who refers to her Machamp as her boyfriend.
Daladakarai Pop says, look man.
Here comes Dale to defend the Machamp screwers. I know, you just think Machamps are neat.
Daladakarai Pop says. And Pokemon fans are basically furries.
Not all, not all.
Solo the Nerd says. This is an obvious difference between romance/marriage/families and those kind of intimate relations. Solo the Nerd says. There.
Alright, Gremlin body is done. This one might go fairly quick. I might even be able to get out the next one if I work quickly. 'Cause I do have another piece for the Psychic family.
Daladakarai Pop says. Where'd the first message disappear to, YouTube? You censoring me?
Maybe you should be on a Rumble, Dale.
Kohate says. I love it when my parents fight.
Oh.
Kohate says. I just like women who speak with a bit less treble, I guess, to each their own you. Kohate says. Dale has never hit the character limit, I assure you. Kohate says. Hello Dice. Kohate says. We love us a gremlin-shaped king.
Apparently,
Solo the Nerd says.
Rumble was,
plenty of times.
The tab shut off. That's one of the problems with this thing that does all the chats, that reads all the chats with Geronimo. I have to have all the tabs open in like their own separate things. And Brave browser likes to put some tabs to sleep because it uses way too much memory. And when it does that, I have to click on the tabs again to wake them back up.
Daladakarai Pop says. Whack. Cat with a mouse says. Don't be alarmed. I just entered your Twitch chat.
Oh geez. It's another cat. Welcome, Cat with a mouse. Are you a big cat or a small cat? We got a big cat here. That's a teleporting big cat. I assume you're new here, so let me introduce you to my monster collecting tabletop RPG that I'm doing art for.
Solo the Nerd says.
See this thing up here above my head?
Mouse is my Twitch profile.
Oh! You're not new here. This is another one of those downsides of streaming on multiple platforms. People switch their platforms and then you don't know who they are because they have different handles. Like Ponyboy Horse / Tomboy Enthusiast / whatever the hell else his other name is. You gonna catch some
Solo the Nerd
Pokemon
says,
while you're out there?
Wanted to create a different handle for Twitch to be safe, privacy-wise.
Alright, we do like our online privacy. As you may have noticed by the fact that, actually, what I'm saying, this is definitely my real face.
Kohate says, is there something unsafe about the handle Solo the Nerd?
He's a nerd, so he doesn't want to be made fun of by the jocks on Twitch.
Solo the Nerd says, no. Just wanted a handle that could appear on a stream's video without being cringe in the wrong way. Kohate says, I never read his handle like that, I always read it as hey guys, that's a nerd over there, let's solo him. Stream Elements says, Hail Cat with a mouse, thank you for following.
Yay, another Twitch follower. Now if only I can get my 3 average viewers.
Daladakarai Pop says, Twitch stinky.
Apparently there is some group of male VTubers that was about to debut recently. And Twitch flagged them as
Cat with a mouse says,
fraud
not
before
sure
they ever
how the
debuted.
Pokemon community game works anyway.
Okay, for the Pokemon community game, you have to type !PokeStart, and it will give you your first Pokeballs and your starter Pokemon at random. And when you want to catch a Pokemon, you type exclamation Poke-catch. And that will throw a Pokeball at it. And then once the time for catching it is up, it'll tell you if you caught the Pokemon or not. Also, I'm already getting stiff shoulders from drawing.
Cat with a mouse says. Just got a score, bunny, the hunt begins.
Nice, nice. One of the furry ones. Have fun with that.
Daladakarai Pop says. But then Twitch also just doesn't like men, I guess so.
Does Twitch not like men?
Kohei
It doesn't
says,
like female VTubers
There's
either.
no laws against the Pokemon Batment.
Pokemon Batman. What?
Kohei says. Twitch does hate men, also women who aren't objects. Daladakarai Pop says. It skipped my other message, what?
I don't know, Dale. Your message might be sussy.
Daladakarai Pop says. CA bag fix your text chat
Hello.
Is OBS alive? Did you win?
I turned it back on and I hit the start streaming button.
That doesn't mean it necessarily works. But
Well, I haven't had a chance to check it yet.
that's alright, I checked for you. It's working.
Let me reboot some things. As I know...
Gotta
Okay,
fix
you're
that
on
text
screen.
Chat though.
Hold on, hold on. I know freaking YouTube doesn't like it when a stream ends in the middle. And then I restart it.
Cat with a mouse says. I caught a Pokemon.
It looks fine on my end.
Are you serious? That's weird. It's like OBS just completely shut down but kept streaming.
I mean, it's better than the usual times OBS fails for you, isn't it?
I guess. What else do I need to check? Odyssey? I don't give a shit about Odyssey. No way, maybe I should.
Oh, hit streaming platform D Live, surely.
Cat with a mouse says. Save your art.
Okay, I'm saving my art. Are you happy, Solo? So YouTube seems to be okay. Rumble seems to be okay. I forgot the name of Twitter, but Twitter seems to be okay.
X, I believe that's what the kids call it.
Twitch is always the same. Twitch, pause that video. I don't need you to
Solo
be
the
running
Nerd
in the
says,
background.
YouTube is okay now.
That's awesome.
Had to restart the stream, though.
YouTube's okay. That's interesting. I wonder if YouTube's done something, because every single time I've had stream disconnections on YouTube and started it back up, it always starts a completely different stream.
No, it did that for me now too. It's weird. It started a new one and ended the last one, but kept it in the same, like...
It's got all the same settings and stuff?
It still says 57 minutes ago is when you started, even though it's a brand new stream.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Hopefully they just combine in the VOD.
Yeah, okay, whatever. I'll take it. Anyways, back to drawing cat.
And it's not a furry cat too, good job.
Yeah, it's not a furry cat. We got Arbo for that.
Yeah.
Daladakarai Pop says. Kohate stinking.
Okay.
Kohate says.
Chats are coming back
It looks
through.
like it's working. Kohate says. I wish Rumble would auto-update when the stream state updates.
Okay, now I have to rebalance some of the things. Hold on a second. We're gonna reduce Geronimo here and make Dale a little louder.
Cat with a mouse says. He's not furry.
That sounds like an awful idea.
He's
Probably.
fluffy.
But at the volume that you're talking right now, it is a necessity. We'll revisit that when you get loud.
I appreciate the understanding that I will get loud. It is not a if, it's when.
That win might be now already anyways.
Damn, I'm sorry.
Not a single person I stream with knows how to speak into their microphone consistently.
Correct. And I won't learn.
Kohate says. Dale wait.
Like,
till
I probably don't
Black
even have
confirm.
it facing the
Drop
right
his mic
direction,
by
knowing me.
200%. Cat with a mouse says. Just wait until Pony comes in. The volume from Dale will definitely
But hey, at
get
least
louder.
that's not a big problem for me. I'm not the big-time multi-platform streamer here.
Big time.
I'm just some guy.
I appreciate the
Fuck up, cool.
butt pats, but I don't think big time is the correct term. You know what? My Creatures channel, which has 35 followers, gets more viewing hours and more views than this channel, which has 1,000 followers.
Stream Elements says. Dicebaggery is now live streaming art, draw and chat Pokemon inspired.
Maybe it's us. Maybe
TTRPG.
it's the quote-unquote co-hosts that are ruining the content. You know.
I don't think so. I think it's the algorithm, and the fact that
Nah, I like the idea that I'm ruining something for someone. It makes me feel powerful.
and it's also the fact that I ran a bunch of YouTube promotions probably over a year ago. So a bunch of my followers are
Dr.
Indians who
says.
don't engage with anything.
Bruh. Kohate says. First thing I've agreed with Dale on all day. Even at my detriment.
What are you talking about, Kohit? You in agreement that you and Dale are ruining it for me?
Cat with a mouse says. It is definitely the algorithm. The hosting skills are not in question. Kohate says. Yeah you. Daladakarai Pop says. Bro, I just woke up. What have I said to cause controversy yet?
Honestly, I feel like the channel is at its best when I have other people to talk to. And that's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to achieve
Nothing
when
yet,
you have nobody
but I know
tuning
you
in
will.
in your chats.
Cat with a mouse
Poor
says,
small streamers.
Nothing yet. I'm just waiting for that shoe to drop.
I wouldn't know. I just show up sometimes, you know?
I know. I'm literally here in the stream. Being a chill, comfy art VTuber can only take you so far when you don't have anything to talk about.
I'm gonna be honest, the only things I can think of right now are things you probably don't want to talk about. I've got very specific topics on the brain because I have been, like, forcing my friends to watch certain shows and things. And it won't make for good conversation.
And I've
Traumatized
seen the
when-
kind of shows that you watch. And the kind of
It's
games
not
that
that-
you play.
Look, look, it's not that kind of thing, okay?
Okay.
It's just bad TV.
Bad TV.
Believe it
Cat
or
with a mouse
not,
says,
I would not force
both
my
Twitch
friends
and
to watch
YouTube
something
open,
like, I don't know,
I
like
can see the
Monster
dirty SEC
Musume or
related
something.
on the platforms.
Monster Musume,
real.
that's tame compared to what I was thinking.
Yeah, I know, but like, I wouldn't force my friends to watch that, let alone, you know, anything else.
Drama dice win? I'm always dramatic, aren't I?
Listen, sometimes Keemstar not knowing of your existence, actually all times, is the benefit.
Kohate says. Are they your friends if you're not forcing them to watch nonsense?
You know what? I could
For-
just do
for
without
that, like,
Keemstar.
theatrical
Kohate
drama.
says.
Yeah, all about that theatrical
no,
drama, not that
We're not dramatic at all,
manufactured team drama, you know?
Yeah.
Kohate says. That's how you get the femme demographic.
That's how you get the femme demographic. Kohet, women don't watch YouTube. Period. Women watch TikTok and Netflix.
Yeah, women's what's ruined YouTube, am I right, fellas? I hate shorts so much.
Kohate says. But they buy things wink wink.
They do buy things.
Kohate says.
Especially if those things are
Also, they totally watch YouTube.
cute critters. Okay, the kind
So
of
you,
YouTube...
so you need to make more shorts of creatures, clearly.
I actually have been.
Cat with a mouse says. Kohate. Women are the best VTuber content creators.
But, what was I saying? Yeah, women watch YouTube in the way that, like, they're the reason channels like freaking Dancing Bacon are big. Where they just, like, show you eating food. That's what women watch on YouTube. They watch people eating food. They watch travel vlogs.
Kohate says.
And even then,
Yeah, but
they're
Cat,
usually a
they
minority.
appeal to the male demo. It's different. Daladakarai Pop says. Kohate unironically in my pal's private Discord we have a tag that's just called Dale's bullshit.
No, yeah, he's got a point.
Yes.
True crime girls. You know, the ones who are like, oh, I can fix him, to like the most horrible people on the planet. And then like, you say something like slightly off color, like, ew, you're a racist.
Yeah. True crime is definitely a blight
Cat
on
with a mouse says.
media.
My mother watches YouTube for news clips and quilting.
They're like
What a split.
inverse yandere
Kohate
girls.
says. Dale Dakery Pop
Inverse
that's a little mean.
yandere? Explain this, because
Yeah,
it sounds pretty good.
Well, because they're into like the male equivalent of a yandere, which
Oh.
I guess would just be called a creep.
Well, it'd just be called a yandere.
Daladakarai Pop says. Nah, it's great.
Well, like, because like a yandere is specifically a girl, right?
I don't think there's anything
It's
about
natural
yandere
reverse
that
gender.
implies girls in the language sense. It's usually a female. Just like tsunderes are usually female, because
I was gonna say, like, all the deres that I can think of, like, I only know of female ones. Because usually with males with those character traits are kind of not looked at positively.
that's because they're men. Men don't get a pass for anything.
I just think it's because, you know, like, they're kind of creepy traits a lot of the time. Listen, I read enough of romance manga targeted towards women to know that there are different stereotypes for the lads here.
Look,
Oh,
Inuyasha
it says.
is a tsundere.
Ah, yes, a stalker or a murderer. Daladakarai Pop says. Yeah, women's favorites.
You know what? That's fair.
The mouse says.
I also keep forgetting this
Sunder guys
exists.
Are edgelords while yanderes are prime boyfriend material.
But, like, it's always in my mind somehow. It's a very, very classic aesthetic, you know?
Yeah. It was on Cartoon Network back in the day.
I think the first time I saw it at like a... It would have been a Blockbuster. I don't even think I ever watched it, I just saw it at the Blockbuster.
Blockbuster.
Just the like the DVD or whatever.
Stream Elements says. Good evening, mortal humans. Make sure you subscribe to Dicebag and say hello.
Tsundere guys
Oh,
are
it says,
edgelords while yanderes are
man,
prime boyfriend
Inuyasha
material.
is kinda Kino in 2025. Kohate says. Simpler
I don't know,
times.
and just... When those character traits exist in male characters, they're usually given a different, like, subcategory, like... Ain't the deres, you know? There's a different vibe going on.
Well, as I said, men are held to different standards. But anyways, Purple Cat, ready for coloring.
Make it green.
We're not making the Purple Cat green. It's
That'd be
not as
funny.
shiny.
Make the tree purple.
We ain't making the tree purple either. We gotta have the tree have like its normal
Oh, it
colors so
says.
it stands out against the
But like,
purple.
what if he was green though?
What if he was
Oh,
green,
it
Kohet?
says.
He would be green.
You
That's
can
all there
say
is to
it's
it.
because of the lighting.
Yeah, green cat.
We can't have weirdo deviations in the
Cat with the
first
mouse
official
says.
art that isn't the
No
character.
competing Pokemon trainers.
Yeah, it'd
I'll catch
be
them all
strange
in
if
no time.
this game had a deviancy in its art. You know, it'd be real weird. That'd be like, you know, like if the Pokemon Company decided to just accidentally leak something about their original designs and what they did with the Pokemon. Yeah.
Kohate says.
Or if
What are
they
you talking about,
made
Dale?
a creature or a Pokemon that was literally just a reskin of a different
Kohei
Pokemon
says,
with a different color type and a
NBM,
different typing.
Go ahead and cook. Cat with a mouse says.
And
You
then
did
said,
mention that you weren't
it's not a
using
regional
shiny system,
form.
right?
It's definitely not a regional form. It's something different. It looks the same. It's just a different color and a different typing, and it has a very similar name. but it's definitely not a regional form. I know we aren't using a shiny system. If you
I'm
want,
gonna be honest.
yeah.
Hated the shiny system in general. Never was a fan.
If you want like unique creatures, what I suggest doing is replacing one of their classes with a new class. Which is, I think I mentioned before, but that's how breeding is going to function for the most part.
Personally, I just like the idea of like different stripes and things like that. Maybe like slightly different patterns, or like for the cat's little crystal there, maybe the crystals are all different, like in their shape and how rough they are, etc.
Yeah.
Slight deviances.
Cat with a mouse says.
It's more interesting than
Similar
just
name
a
plus
different
similar
color.
Form plus different color scheme equals convergent creature.
No convergent creatures. Creatures breed true to kind. I don't have any of that weirdo stuff that they pulled with the last generation.
Daladakarai Pop says. Like a no. Oh, my Magment has a moustache. Maybe your Magment has a Fu Manchu. Kohate says. You know what? That's another thing the lady demographic likes.
What variety of creature
Kohate
aesthetics?
says, I got my wife to play Ark with me by telling her that she can breed the dinosaurs. Kohate says. And now it's her favorite. Cat with a mouse says. My BOI's looking great, Dice. You're a true master of the arts.
I don't know about a master of the arts.
Kohate says. I've got like 600 dodos NGL.
See, this is why I need like a Neopets kind of clone, like a browser game for creatures.
Daladakarai Pop says.
To get all the
I
girlies
told you
on
women
board.
Are too into animals.
That's how we get the girls on board. We make a browser game where they can feed their creatures and pet them. And put little decorations on them.
That's the part that women are into.
This one's into getting animals into other animals though. It's different. She's into eugenics.
Like, you're just describing a game that I would enjoy. It's not the same, brother. It's not the same.
Well, the thing is, we can have multiple creature games.
Yeah, but,
I can have a game for the girlies.
I don't think we want that.
Cat with a mouse says. Games for both girlies and boilies. Daladakarai Pop says. So you're saying she's one of the good ones.
Okay, speaking of eugenics, have you guys seen Mewgenics?
What?
Kohate says, I
Mewgenics.
wouldn't be married if she wasn't.
It's a game that the creator of The Binding of Isaac is working on. And it's about breeding cats that
Kohate says,
fight
you
for
should
you.
never start a sentence with speaking of eugenics LMAO.
What, you mean like Duck's Life?
What?
Oh, this
Duck's
is
Life.
nothing like Duck's Life. What do you... Some XCOM cat game?
Kohate says,
I hope
but
it's
you
Oh,
that
said
good.
Keth, you'll love it.
permanently
It's
in
a
concept
roguelike.
Stage type of game. Cat with a mouse says, Mewgenics sounds like a bad Pokemon minigame where you make cursed fusions. Kohate says, Mewgenics would be so cool if it was real.
Mewgenics was put on hiatus for a long time, but
Pop says,
he's working on it
Koss is
again.
tagged as roguelike.
Yeah, just like how I'm working on something right now.
Well, he's posting updates on Twitter that I'm seeing consistently.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Kohate says,
sure.
no, because it's been in hiatus for 15 years and that's probably a low
No,
ball.
no, I'm joshing. Yeah.
Also, I'm just now looking at your
Daladakarai
little
Pop says,
pop-up on Discord
LOL.
and your like banner on your personal page.
Yeah. I keep forgetting that's there, I'm gonna be honest. My friend sent it to me one night when we were talking about something, and so it's been there ever since. It's been there for like a year.
I have not noticed it until now.
It's great, I love it. I do need to make new ones, but like, I kinda wanna keep that. Hang on, I can send the whole picture.
Alright, we're gonna make this like branch a little bit on the greenish side, I think. So it kinda continues that
purple.
that
Green
contrast
cat,
with the
purple
purple.
branch.
What?
Green cat, purple branch.
Not green cat, purple cat. I keep getting the hankering to like do some
Kohate says,
doodles of
obtuse rubber
VTubers.
goose.
I never actually sit down and do it, and then when I come on stream to draw, I'm like, I have to draw creatures because I have things I need to do.
Look, as long as it's not a part of the time lapse, you still could between the two creatures.
Cat with a mouse says,
Like they're just
Prince
little doodles,
Farley.
right?
big cat on a little branch.
I wanted to do something that's worth putting on social media.
It's okay to do not creatures in your draw streams like once or twice, you know.
It's not that I feel like I need to do it for the stream. It's that I
Cookie
need to
says,
do it
just draw it
to
with the
meet
second
my
account.
personal deadlines
Smiley
of
face.
making content for creatures specifically. Because I wanted this game to be done already by now.
Man, I get that. Don't worry.
Big cat on little branch. And the thing that brought drawing YouTubers to mind was the discussion of the big cat, because Raura is now a thing.
Ooh.
Raura Pantera.
No clue.
The Italian one from the new Hololive generation.
Oh, the one that's like all over my feed, even though I have no idea who it is, and never engaged with any of its content.
Probably.
Just apparently is the big thing now. Man, these VTubers all come and go to me, man. I don't care. Like, sure, like I own a lot of Gura merch. I think she's cute, but like, I don't even watch her that often either.
Well, to be fair, she doesn't stream that often.
Well, even when she did, you know. But like, I don't care. I don't know who these people are.
Again.
Yes, I just dropped again. Solo, am I back? Am I back yet? I don't know why OBS is being such a bitch today. I'm not sure what's eating up all the memory.
It's me.
Cat with a mouse says, "You're back."
I am back. In fact,
Kohate says, "He's back. Sound the trumpets."
I don't see anything in my task manager that's especially
Trumpets.
I don't see anything in my task manager that's especially memory consuming. I don't know what the hell the problem is. If it ain't one thing, it's another.
Kohate
Might have to
says,
look into getting more memory
"Is your
then.
VPN on today?"
My VPN hasn't been on in a long time. Also, Kohe, what you're just saying, just draw it for the second account.
Yeah, just draw it.
I already do sometimes.
Kohate says, "Smiley face."
Yeah, but show us.
Show you, Kohet might have seen it. Kohet follows me on there.
Cat with a mouse says, "You're going the same way as EV Expo. The site is about to."
Wait, is
fail
this
you."
that secret account that I still haven't found yet?
Oh yeah, the second account.
Your hint was the worst hint ever. It made no sense.
If you're familiar with the lore, then it would
Yeah,
make
I'm
sense.
not.
Well, that's why it's a hint and not a tell.
That's barely a hint. That's like a wink and a nudge to an in-joke, you know? It's like, how the hell am I supposed to know
Kohate
that?
says, "If you were meant to find it, you would have already." Dale.
You know, you could just
Kohate
post
says,
it so that we can
"Don't
see
worry
it.
about it."
I don't know if I want you guys to see it.
What do you mean if I was meant to find it, I would have? That's not how this works. Do you know how big the internet is?
I'm not sure if Kohed even knows who I am on the other account.
He probably follows you anyways, though.
He does follow me anyways, and I follow
What
him.
what the fuck?
We are mutuals on multiple platforms.
Kohate
This is
says,
ass. This is
"The
bullshit.
internet is remarkably small actually." Stream Elements says, "Dice Baggery is
What's
now
next? You gonna
live
tell me
streaming
Evergrade
art,
follows the other
draw
account as
and
well?
chat Pokemon
I don't
inspired
think so.
TTRPG."
Actually, you might have followed that account when I was on Mines with it, but I have dumped Mines.
What? I was gonna say I only like followed like 4 people on Mines, but it's like no, there's only 4 people were ever active on Mines. One of them was me.
I didn't keep close tabs on it. So maybe you didn't.
No. I'm gonna see if I can find it now.
Just to preempt you, I will neither confirm or deny any
Yeah,
suspicions
I wasn't expecting it to.
on stream.
Kohate says. Dale's out there with a magnifying glass and a corkboard with red strings.
Look, I just need a better hint than a Magic the Gathering card, because, like, literally every loser on the internet plays Magic the Gathering.
I was doing it before it was cool.
No, Boogie 2988 was doing it before it was cool. That doesn't give you, like, a good out, you know?
I was drawing it before it was cool.
Cat with a mouse
I don't think I've
says.
seen any.
Pony's the one who makes murder boards, not Dale.
You think Pony would
Kohate
make the
says.
murder boards? I don't know.
That's not true. I'm a loser on the internet and I hate Magic the Gathering.
Kohate, you like Yu-Gi-Oh though, so that's even worse.
Nah, that's better.
Kohate's,
Base code.
Kohate's the Yu-Gi-Oh guy, right? Like you.
I don't think he's ever said that, to be fair. He's been commissioned to draw Yu-Gi-Oh fan art before. But I don't think he's actually ever
Kohate
expressed
says,
liking Yu-Gi-Oh.
I do not like Yu-Gi-Oh just because I hate
I
Magic.
definitely had.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I used to play it semi-professionally.
Okay, Kohate. You're slightly less uncool than I thought.
Was it less uncool? They're both uncool for different reasons.
Kohate says.
Both are better
Thanks,
than the fucking
Dice.
Pokemon card game, though. Ugh.
Kohate says.
Pokemon cards do
I
suck.
guess.
Apparently they have an actual functioning card game now. I wouldn't know, I don't play it, but that's what I hear.
You mean
And what
the
the mouse
noble,
says.
the mobile game?
Isn't less than cool just normal.
Yeah.
Kinda. Like, it's kind of better than the way it was designed before.
Probably because it wasn't designed before at all.
True. True. I've noticed they've kind of consolidated, like, their typings and stuff. They brought in, like, fairy and dragon types a while back. And in the newer sets, I've noticed that there's no fairy types anymore. All the fairy types have now been reclassified as psychic in the card game.
That's weird, because, like, before fairy types were introduced, a lot of them would have been normal type.
Yeah, but that didn't really make much sense either, did it?
Apparently poisons were moved to dark.
Poisons were moved to dark, yes. Which is... okay. They used to be... like...
Poison and psychic were the same before.
not always. Like, sometimes poison was,
Kohate
grass.
says, actually garbage change.
Yeah, but the TCG never did the whole,
It
like,
says,
dual typing either.
Erasure of my favorite typing.
So it's kind of hard to, like, actually solidify them as one
Kohate
type.
says. One more reason to hate Nintendo.
The thing that I find kind of
The
weird
mouse says. That's right.
is that, like, most of
Berry
the...
and Jigglypuff used to be normal type because they fit nowhere else.
most of the,
That's what Pokemon lore people
card
say.
game types have, like, multiple types from the normal games, like, within them. So, like, water has ice in it too, and then psychic obviously has fairies in it now. Dark has poison and whatnot. Grass has bug. But then you have like the electric type and the fire type, and they're just like by themselves. And there's not that many fire and electric types to really fill out a set of cards. So they're always kind of smaller groupings. And then the steel type is there too. Erasure of your favorite typing? Which type is that? Cohet, and is that fairy type? Do you like the fairies? Actually, my favorite Pokemon is a fairy type.
Kohate says. Is that fairy type? What did you mean by this? Dice. Daladakarai Pop says. No fairy is slant for the home of sensual. Kohate says. No, my fave is poison.
Oh, that's right, poison. I should have known that. Sorry, Kohet, I'm a bad bro. I forgot your favorite Pokemon type.
Honestly, poison's a pretty good type to be a fave.
It kind of makes
poison's
sense in the
cool.
in the dark typing. If you're consolidating them like that.
I kind of like steel as a type, but I don't like many steel Pokemon. I don't know why.
Kohate says.
I think it's like
We've
poison
been
for me,
friends
where it's
for
like
7
I really
years and
want
you don't
more
even
steel
remember
and
my
poison
favorite type of
Pokemon that have like
Yu-Yu.
odd type mix-ups for its dual typing. But the problem is that they're usually the ones that are like, that sounds cool. They tend to be terrible Pokemon, like poison fire type Pokemon. There's only like a couple of them, and they're all like awful.
We'll fix it in Creatures Dale, don't worry. We'll have cool fire poison types.
Like, what about a poison lightning type?
Toxtricity.
Yeah, but that's it.
Yeah, that is it. Because it doesn't really make much sense together.
But like, it's Pokemon, you know? Like, it's fantasy animal game. You can go wild. They don't have to just be like, oh, bugs in real life are venomous and they eat leaves, so therefore it has to be a poison grass type. Yeah,
But they usually do.
That's usually what they do, is what I'm saying. It's like, don't do that. Be interesting.
They don't want to be interesting.
Kohate says.
They're Game
Neither
Freak.
does
They
rock
don't do
flying, but
interesting
Aerodactyl
anymore.
exists.
Yeah, I want more rock flying. That sounds cool. Give me like an actual rock, like ROC. A bird made out of rocks.
Instead, we've got like 3 different types of phoenixes.
Yeah. Ugh.
Kohate says. Ho-Oh is my bro yo.
Ho's your bro, but what about Moltres? What about Talonflame?
I like the design, I hate the name.
Kohate says. Lame and lamer.
Man, you just dead ass reminded me when we were talking about how you don't use mines anymore. That like
Cat with a mouse
nobody
says,
does.
Talonflame is
Yeah.
Moltres at
I'm
home.
going through like all my subscribe feeds, and just like 3 of these people are probably still active.
Talonflame is Moltres at home.
Probably doesn't help that the actual app for mines doesn't work half the time.
Yeah.
Kohate says, you tell MCAT.
Talonflame is the Route 1 Moltres.
Cat with a mouse says, I at least use hate with respect. I'm not that much of an asshole.
It's okay, you can use hate with disrespect. This
Yeah, I
is-
encourage we use more hate more often.
This is a safe space for haters. As long as they hate the correct things.
Stream Elements says, good evening, mortal humans, make sure you subscribe to Dicebag and say hello. Cat with a mouse says, 2 things I hate, Ponyboy and haters that hate for the sake of hating. Kohate says, what hateable thing gives us the most Creature stream social credit?
What hateable thing? I don't know. Which social credit are we looking for? Are we looking for the Xi Jinping social credit? The Klaus Schwab social credit?
Kohate says,
The Twitter social
you're
credit?
a dictator, it's whatever you favor. Kohate says, the Dicebag social credit, naturally.
Oh,
Hey,
okay.
guys,
Huh?
where do I
Oh,
put
hate
my
says,
out of context?
you really gotta work
shit
on this
posts in this
parasocial
channel.
I don't know, Maine.
There you go.
Cat with a mouse says, are we talking about positive hate? If so, nothing comes to mind.
What are you doing in Discord? Oh. He's Australia memeing. There we go. California is a good one to hate.
Agreed.
The French. That's a good one. Double social credit for hating the French.
Cat with a Mouse says, if we're going political, how about some hate for the soon-to-be King of America? Kohate says,
The God Emperor?
NGL, kinda tired of hating the French, I feel like they've had enough.
The French can get their non-hate when they grow a spine.
As for God Emperor, which one are we talking about? There's like 3 in current pop culture.
Are there?
Yeah.
Who are
There's
they?
Dune, there's Warhammer, and then there's your president.
Well, he's not our president yet.
Yeah, not yet, but like, you know, like that was the meme in 2016 for him, though.
Is it gonna
They
be
made a
the
parade
meme
for it and
again?
The
everything.
Mouse says, I'm not talking pop culture, here. Kohate says, but at some point it's cruel to bully the helpless and pathetic you.
You're right, it is kind of cool to bully the helpless. But I don't think the French are that helpless yet. I just think they're pussies.
Zolidakarai Pop says, no, the French will have enough once they're gone. Kohate says, yet.
Yeah, the manliest thing about the French is their soccer team.
By the way, thanks for speaking American and calling it soccer.
Oh, we call it soccer here too, anyways.
Oh, do you?
It's the Brits that live here that don't.
The Brits were the
Like, I
ones who
get
coined
that.
that term.
Says, I
Well,
feel
like,
like
I
the
get the
background
argument for
will
why it's
reveal a
called
bunch of dark
football,
clouds
because, you
and
know,
a
you
full
actually
moon.
use your foot for it for, like, the entirety of the game.
It does make sense.
However, we have the AFL, which is the Australian Football League, which is, you know, man's football.
Football
And then we
without
have,
the fake injuries.
Yeah, and then we have our National Rugby League as well, which is different rule set. Even though people will say, no, AFL's rugby, not football, if they're British, and it's like, but they're not, though. Because they're completely different rule sets. Like, one of them you're not allowed to touch people at all, the other one you're allowed to tackle them to the ground.
Not allowed to touch people.
Yeah.
What kind of sport is that?
Soccer. Soccer, but with, you know, a football ball instead of a soccer ball. And you don't kick it, and you just pass it.
Kohate says, sounds like
Listen, I don't
tennis.
do sports, man.
Cat with a mouse
Sounds
says,
like
They're all the
tennis.
same to me, except
AFL
soccer.
equals all fighting's legal.
Yeah, but at least tennis is actually, like, kind of fun.
It's actually physically demanding.
It's because you're swinging the bat around, you know?
And running
Running
all
around
across
between.
this.
Well, there's half the time in
court.
soccer you're just standing there. It's like cricket.
Dude, it's exactly my soccer experience when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
Hey guy, you're kind of introverted. We're gonna put you out on the sides where the ball never goes and you never get to touch anything. Oh, thanks. Also, can't move from your position, buddy. You just stay over there.
Cat with a mouse says. And then you get CLOKCED in the head when you look straight at the ball.
I'm like blanking on what I need to do to this thing next. We need to start drawing in some shadows. That's what we need to do.
Cat with a mouse says. Background art. Kohate says. Lowlights LFG.
Yes, Lowlights LFG, that's what it is. And I need to pull up the actual, like, reference for this. This is the AI generation of what I based it on. So, yeah, moon in the back, it's gonna be backlit mostly.
Cat with a mouse says. The AI reference is dope.
It looks dope, yes, but it's wrong. The design is shit. So let's see. We want to get a nice bluish tone for the backgrounds. Or not the backgrounds, the lowlights. Then we're going to do my favorite thing and work subtractively.
Cat with a mouse says. The reference picture would make for a great live-action Pokemon movie frame.
Something like that. Put some over here. And some on each paw. See, this is why we work subtractively. This layer is basically almost done.
Yeah, that would be the smart thing to do, wouldn't it? Now you gotta, yeah, shine up that crystal. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. I should probably be using a smaller eraser brush
Kohate
though.
says. Never learned how to subtract, therefore I only add.
Go ahead. You don't need to learn how to subtract. You just darken the thing first and then remove the lighter areas.
Kohate says. Clay v marble sculpture.
Yes, exactly. Except unlike the marble sculptures, we have an undo button. My microphone is getting in the way.
I'm gonna take my leave here. You have a good time with the rest of your stream. And
Alrighty.
good time drawing the cat.
The cat.
Thanks for having me.
Kohate says,
Thanks for hanging out.
stone sculptors just be like, oh no, I made a mistake, Bishop. Have the slaves roll in a new 700-pound rock. Cat with a mouse says, see you next time, Dale.
So now that we got rid of Dale, I don't know what to follow up on that with. I'm in the zone, I can't think of anything to say.
Kohate says,
Quick,
really,
go
you
ahead,
can say
generate a
anything.
topic.
The world's your oyster now. Cat with a mouse says, hating on Ponyboy until he shows up.
You think that'll get him to come? If we just spew Ponyboy hate? It works on Kohet sometimes.
Cat with a mouse says, worked so far.
What kind of slanderous things can we say about tomboys?
Kohate says, yet it's weird how often I join the stream to slander. Kohate says, Kohate says, me personally, I'm so over tomboys. Cat with a mouse says, aren't they just putas? No real difference, right? Kohate says, I'm in my elegant refined woman arc.
Elegant, refined woman. You're not a hag enjoyer? I don't know when we stopped calling things MILFs. But here we are.
Kohate says, no, what's more, I hate the Twitter concept of a hag. Kohate says, which is the same as the Twitter concept of a child.
The Twitter concept of a child. You mean a short person? A short female of legal age? That kind of concept? Speaking of, I recently found out one of the biggest hag quote-unquote VTubers is younger than me. Which, I'm not young. But still, that's like, huh.
You could put a drawing of a girl out there, and the internet would say both, oh my god hag wife and oh my god, go to the chipper in reference to the same character. Kohate says, but I'll level with you, I'm a MILF fan, I think. Kohate says, hag implies that they're childless.
I guess so. Dang spinsters. I think Flork is looking to make another hag too. For his little agency. At least he's been memeing it up about that.
Kohate says, I was reading a thread while on the John which could be summed up as so-called hag fans when the real octogenarian fills show up.
Hag fans when the hut with chicken legs shows up. There's one we should make.
Kohate says, Baba Yaga enjoyers, where you at?
I'm glad somebody understood that reference.
Kohate says, who's this alleged VTuber hag? Dice.
That would be Matara Khan. She is a cockroach woman. And she sounds like somebody's mom. I found out she's like only 32. It kind of begs the question, what's the male equivalent of a hag for VTubers? I need to know this for branding purposes.
Cat with a mouse says, "This is out of my depth."
Or getting into VTuber
Kohei
culture deep
says,
lore.
"Daddy or homeless, take your pick."
Daddy or homeless? I don't know if I like those options.
Cat with a mouse says, "Is there any maturity/personality shifts within the psychic line?" Kohei says, "Do you know any other options?"
Are there any maturity shifts?
Kohei says,
Their telepathy matures
"Sometimes
as they
life
get
only
older.
hands you a coin when you're looking for a dice."
Older forms have more developed telepathy. And so, like, when they're in the pack with the younger ones, they kind of watch out for them because they don't have, like, the two-way telepathy that the others do. Sometimes life hands you a coin when you're looking for a dice. Kohet, it's a die. Actually. Die is the plural of, or the singular of dice.
Kohei says, "Cat with a mouse says, if your game doesn't work out, you could turn all this art into a great comic book or anime."
We could do all of that. I want to turn creatures into a multimedia franchise. Ultimately. Though I want games to come first. We're gonna be the new Pokemon.
Kohei says,
With
"You
blackjack
should
and
save all the
hookers.
line art and make it a coloring book."
I'm planning to, actually. I've thought about that, and I think it would be really easy. And, potentially good. And it's really easy to just go like, bam, bam. Look at that coloring book material right there. I'm definitely not throwing away my CSP files.
Cat with a Mouse says. Then you could have players make tokens using their own colored creatures.
I have a ton of ideas for creatures in the future. It just depends on how much I can get support for and whether people will actually buy it and consume it. I do think there's a lot of nice potential. And I have talked to a writer or two about like actually making story content for maybe comics or something. Or just novels. I don't really care which way. Depends on if I can get an artist to do the comics for me or if I'd have to do it myself. Because I do not want to make comics.
Kohate says. The internet says there's a lot of demand, but testing if that's true is the scariest part.
The internet says there's a lot of
Kohate says,
demand.
But you're at Kunk Cost Folica now anyways.
The internet might say there's a lot of demand, but some people say a lot of things. The question is, do they put their money where their mouth is? I need to get some advertisements going again. I'm kind of in a stage where I'm like trying to get better material for it. Like I want to get a lore video put out there that's basically just a description of the creature's world as an overview. I'm gonna see if I can spam that around in some social media, what do you call it, ad spaces, and see if that can get some attention, especially on YouTube. And I also need to make like a beginner introductory module for people to try out, which I can use as a way to entice people to join the
I've been watching this guy called Caleb Hammer recently, and his whole shtick is roasting people in financial hardship. In one episode he had this advertising magnate on, and well, it was ironic.
Okay.
Kohate says, I just want the book so I can gift it to my buddies.
Was the advertising magnate like actually poor, or was he just did he just pick the wrong target?
Kohate says, Bad at advertising and poor.
Oh. So not such a magnate as much as a wannabe. I sure hope it wasn't one of the gurus that I've been listening to.
Kohate says. Yee, but you gotta fake it to make it.
So true. That's why I call myself a VTuber.
Kohate
I think
says,
that'll work.
But you are a VTuber?
Technically, yeah. I think we're good, boys. You know what?
Kohate says. What you mean, technically?
I mean, as a hobby. Alright. I think I'm done futzing. Moving on. I'm moving on, guys. Time for the highlights.
Kohate says. Nah, you're better than most of those pro VTubers that just long around Twitter all day and stir up drama.
That's a low bar. Also, I prefer not to judge. You know what? I need to make a swatch before I start changing things. I prefer not to judge myself against other things based on what do you call that? Like subjective value measurement. I'm just looking at pure stats and saying, okay, this person is having more success than me, so they must be more successful. And there can be all kinds of reasons for it.
Cat with a Mouse says. That could just mean that they sold out while you stayed true to yourself.
Yeah. And it probably does. But the point is that they're successful. And I'm not gonna go around saying like, oh,
says,
these other people sold out.
It's not subjective with regards to being a streamer with an animated representation of themselves. You've got them beat. You're not competing in the realm of being INFL amatory in social SE.
Look, I'm just saying, being a professional VTuber ain't something I'm like putting all my cards into.
Kohate says, Tings, it's just like how artists on YouTube aren't big because they're artists, but rather because they're yapping about drama while doodling.
Drama does get the attention, though. That's why those drama tubers get views. Sometimes being successful just means you have to do some things that you don't like. Like, I'm pretty decent at my job, my actual job, but I don't have any particular love for cutting metal with industrial lasers. I'd just as soon not do that.
Kohate says, right, but you wouldn't become a successful artist in that case, but rather a successful drama tuber.
And that's why I'm focusing on the game parts, the games and the arts, rather than the VTubiness.
Cat with a Mouse says, art is better than drama any day. Which is why Pokemon fan games are better than the official titles.
When are we gonna get Creatures fan games? I'm ready for that. Need to get some Creatures fan games made so I can license them. And canonize them and not have to make the games myself.
Kohate says, I kinda, high-key, disagree, but I at least prefer the art. Kohate says, I don't know, tell Dale to hurry it up.
I don't know if Dale's types of games would be fitting.
Kohate says, you know, he was playing this one weird game, it wasn't even pinball related, really tragic opportunity loss.
Wasn't pinball related? We were talking about pinball last time, weren't we? I don't really remember all the details of that discussion. I think I was tuning it out while I was drawing.
Cat with a Mouse says, what is Dale's project anyway? A Monster Girl RPG? Because that already exists.
I'm not entirely sure what Dale's project is, but I've seen him in Discord and the games he plays pop up on the sidebar. Plus, I think right now he's working on some kind of
Kohate says,
TTRPG
next time
thing.
Dale is online, we'll have to ask him why he's alive.
Why he's alive? Did Monster Girl save his life or something?
Kohate says, nah, just as like a general question, like, Dice, why are you here? Why are you alive? Cat with a Mouse says, probably. Either that or he has one as his girlfriend.
According to Dale, all women are monsters. Monster girls are just monsters on the outside. And that's why he likes them.
Cat with a Mouse says, I agree with Dale. Monster girls are women too. More so than real humans.
Damn. Real chicks BTFO.
Says, the biggest twist of 2025 is gonna be that Dale is not actually a man's man but has instead simply been crispering up the perfect monster waifu.
I hope not. I don't know if I want Dale to unleash his desires into the world in that manner. I don't need real life snake women. Or spider women.
Kohate says, I do STFU. Kohate says, LOL.
Look, I'm down with a lot of types of monster girls. But I don't know if I'd be down with spiders. Which is what I really meant to say. Snakes are okay.
It's too late for me, but it's for the culture.
Snakes, I mentioned snakes, but I actually don't have a problem with snake girls. But spider girls? I don't know about that. I got enough spiders in my house. Pop up all the time.
Kohate says, good news, you wouldn't have to be down with them, because they tie you up in their webs, smiley face.
Ain't gonna tie me up in their webs when I step on them. Maybe I should get on the right layer this time. This is the part of the drawing that's really hard to find something interesting to focus on when I turn it into a time-lapse video. As every stroke is like some imperceptible adjustment of the edge of the lines. Speaking of, I got a bunch of those ready to like go for the YouTube channel. I got a lot done during my vacation.
Now allow me to tell you about the worst part of art, the last 5%.
That's the problem, though. My time-lapse videos don't have any commentary.
It's like an eye spot. You can see if you know to look for it.
Whoops. I pulled up my reference
says,
image on the other screen
I do
and
think
accidentally
it really
hit
helps
the
the viewing
rotate
experience.
button. Commentary helps the viewing experience. The thing is, commentary takes time to write and record. And I make time-lapse videos so I don't have to write and record things. Just in general. Know what I mean? Writing and recording things is for the
Smiley face.
the
Yeah.
lore videos. You know, I think
Cat with a mouse says, you might not be a Bob Ross, but I'm sure you could come up with something. Most speed art videos are also lore dump videos.
I'm gonna move the eyes up slightly. Because as it is, his facial proportions are kind of making him look a little young. I think de-squishing his face will help a little bit. Probably not a whole lot, but enough. Most speed art videos are also lore dump videos. Yeah. Thing is, like, I've got ideas for, like, highly produced lore dump videos. And most of the art I'm making is, like, currently with an eye towards finishing those.
Cat with a mouse says, why do the eyes look a bit too far apart?
That's a good point. They are a little lopsided. This one could stand to be in a little bit, I think.
Kohate says, Sigur is VA by Halle Berry.
Halle Berry. I don't know why Sigur would be VA'd by Halle Berry. Is there some lore behind that I'm not familiar with? Did she VA a Pokemon?
Kohate says. The eyes comment mostly.
Oh. Alright, you know what? Since this is gonna be like a nighttime one, we need to make a bluer background. Let's see. I'll go ahead and work on the background a bit. And then we'll kind of go in afterward with the highlights. Let's see. Maybe we should start with the darker color on this one like before.
Stream Elements says. Good evening, mortal humans, make sure you subscribe to Dicebag and say hello.
How do you draw a moon? That might pass as a moon.
Kohate says. Just blur the hell out of that and it'll look fine, the edges too. Cat with a mouse says. Looks good to me. Maybe more grays and less blue.
Now we want the blues. Let's take a glow layer. Let's take one with a smaller radius.
Kohate says. Do you keep the brushes on the bottom right hand side of the screen? WTF.
Yes. Actually, bottom right hand? No, they're on the left hand side.
Kohate says. Boogamajat.
What does that mean? We'll give him a jet. What is that? What are you saying to me?
Kohate says. Not sure, but I liked how Geronimo said it. Cat with a mouse says. Efficiency matters for artistry. Whatever works works.
Okay. I was a little confused there for a second. I was drawing on the glow layer with a dark color and it wasn't looking right. I was a little confused. Let's see. Okay, so
Cat with a mouse says. Can't get enough of that reference art. Maybe you should use it for a Psychic Lore video thumbnail.
no. The design is all wrong. I'm not fond of using just straight up AI art with no modifications or adjustments. Okay, hold up. We need to put this in front. You know, it might be easier to do art if my freaking room light wasn't directly behind me, reflecting into the screen constantly. Let's see. Okay, I should probably save the drawing at this point in time. Alright, leaf time. This new leaf brush I got is a little weird to use. It's like... you have to use too big of a brush for what it gives you. We might need to do a little bit up here too. In fact, we're gonna go even darker. I probably should have tried more abstraction in this.
Kohate says, there's always the next one.
But I gotta get this one right.
Cat with a mouse says, why more abstract?
Because it's just not looking as good. I'm not finding the right balance between lazy background and detailed background that I usually can. Let's see. Let's expand the selected area here. And we'll deselect everything else. I'm not sure if that's what I'm going for, really. But I'm trying to make a shortcut to highlight the leaves, and I think it's backfiring on me. I'm gonna try a little bit of a tone adjustment here. I don't think that's gonna work the way I want it to. Let's try a little something else here. That's probably a little closer. Trying to make the foregrounds and the backgrounds match a little more. Doing the tedious work here. Just putting them all in by hand. Alright, let's talk about these right here.
Cat with a Mouse says. Is that supposed to be the forest floor or the lower canopy?
This would be the forest floor. It might be time to just put some fog in there and call it a night.
Kohate says. The classic.
The classic, yeah.
Cat with a Mouse says. Agreed. The more detailed you go now, the less mysterious it becomes.
Alright. Let's go ahead and throw some stars upon ours in the background. Darken the background a little. Then we can start throwing on the major highlights. Let's see. We want to use the color of the moon mainly. First, we're gonna soften up
Cat
all
with a mouse says,
these things.
I would give this Sigurd the name of either lurker or query.
I've never been a big naming my Pokemon kind of guy. Makes it easier to remember each new generation when you know them by their names, the actual Pokemon names.
Cat with a mouse says, I don't normally name mine either, but creatures are more special than Pokemon are. The creatures
Oh,
have more unique personalities though that require naming.
I guess that is literally a mechanic in the game. Yeah, that's a nice little glow on this guy.
Stream Elements says, Good evening, mortal humans. Make sure you subscribe to Dicebag and say hello.
That's right. Do we have any lurkers lurking around? I haven't asked for lurkers in a while. Hello, lurkers, if you're there after like 3 crashes of OBS. At least that hasn't happened again.
Cat with a mouse says, I see Dinsdale Piranha in my poke catch session. Kohate says,
Oh, Dinsdale's over
knock
here.
on wood.
Well, hey there, Dinsdale. I didn't see you there. Geronimo doesn't catch those.
Dinsdale Piranha says, I'ma crash soon, but figured I'd pop in to see what you're doing.
Always nice to have people stopping by that aren't normally part of it. Or just working on some cats. Let's see. Maybe we'll put some on the tail too.
Dinsdale Piranha says, the best kitty cats, I'm sure.
Definitely.
Cat with a mouse says, absolutely.
I might not be able to do an entirely new one after this one. We might have to call it an early stream this time. What? I guess it's not too early. It's been like 3 hours. I'm still not happy with the color of this branch, though. That should be closer.
Dinsdale Piranha says, have a good one, Dicebag. I've gotta go eat some spaghettis and meatballs.
Nice, you go get your spaghettis. Just don't be putting any pineapples on pizzas. That's a hot topic still, right?
That is closer in terms of color shading.
Alright. Now we need to do something about the eyes. I've been putting this off for too long. I'm just gonna remove all the shading from the eyes.
Cat with a mouse says, what are the purpose of those circles? Showing reflection of light sources or what?
Stylizing. I don't think I like using it this way. Okay, we're gonna just put this down here. Little eye shine is just kind of a stylized thing I'm doing with the eyes, because that's just part of the character design. I feel like I need to throw some kind of lighting effect on there, but I'm not entirely sure what I can get away with. Oh yeah, the freaking horn. That too. We need to detail the horn so it's clearly magical. Alright. Let's get ourselves a very bright purple. Maybe a little less bright.
Cat with a mouse says. Can the horn crack or break off without hurting the cigar too much?
I don't know. I haven't really thought too much about it.
Ponyboy Horse says. This thing don't look breedable.
Well, look who the cat dragged in at the end of the stream. How's it going, Pony Boy? And you're right, this one's not breedable.
Cat with a mouse
At least
says,
not by you.
The pony has finally arrived. Ponyboy Horse says. I am here to bring the life to the party. Ponyboy Horse says. I would not try to breed a cat, it was for a friend. Cat with a mouse says.
Okay.
Fortunately, the party is almost over.
You know what else I need to do? I need to make these thingamabogs go over here.
Ponyboy Horse says.
Ah, yes. The one thing we've been missing this whole stream.
Ponyboy Horse says. I know you needed to hear that, have me whisper sweet greetings into your ears.
Let's see.
Ponyboy Horse says. I would like to throw a pokeball at the cat.
You can't throw a Pokeball, you have to throw a binding crystal. Actually, you don't throw the binding crystal.
Cat with a mouse says. I jump in front of the pokeball. Ponyboy Horse says. If I fight one of these, can I distract it with a laser pointer?
Maybe. I don't know where you're getting the laser pointer at in the creature's world, though.
I cast laser pointer.
You might have to settle for some kind of light spell.
Cat with a mouse says, I will break that laser pointer and every finger in your hands. No one messes with my BOI. Ponyboy Horse says, who would want to live in a world without lasers?
You're so right, I'd be out of a job. No lasers. How am I gonna cut things?
Cat with a mouse says, I would. Have you not heard of botched laser eye surgery? Ponyboy Horse says, that's their fault for sticking a laser in their eyes. Lasers are like top of the list of things I would never put in my eye. Ponyboy Horse says, glass is also up there.
How's he looking, boys?
Dicebag fact. Dicebag buys all his clothes on Amazon and guesses at what size will fit.
Actually, I'm wearing a shirt of my own design.
Says, we were talking earlier about things we hate. You were one of them, you communist fetishist. Cat with a mouse says, Sigur looks fantastic. Ponyboy Horse says, not a communist fetishist. Ponyboy Horse says, I am a capitalist.
Alright. I think you know what? Let's just detail the shit out of this.
Ponyboy Horse says,
Maybe I shouldn't.
why is that cat angry? Does he want a can of tuna?
He's not angry. He just sees food. Okay.
Cat with a mouse says, no. He wants you, pony. And in the worst way.
Not in the fetishist
Ponyboy
way.
Horse says, he can't have my 89-cent can of tuna. I paid for it fair and square.
That's alright. He probably would eat your tuna, though. After he eats you. Ugh.
Cat with a mouse says, he hungers for pony meat.
Let's see. How
Ponyboy Horse
is...
says, why would a cat eat me? I am handsome.
How's our streaming situation looking?
Cat with a mouse says,
Not much happening
don't matter how
on
handsome you are.
Twitch.
Meat is meat.
Let's see if there's anybody on Rumble that I can send a raid to. We got a few people hanging around. Hello, Rumble lurkers, by the way. I see you in my numbers. Is anybody streaming? Let's see, we could send people to Shma. Actually, we got Tualiz over here. Streaming some art, too. Maybe we'll send a raid her way. Let's see if I remember how to do this. Alright. Well, we're gonna go ahead and call it there. So, thanks for stopping by, guys, and Rumblers. I'm gonna send you over to another artist. And, yeah. I'll see you guys next week, hopefully. Bye!